Uy, okay. I'll put this on the side. That makes sense. Just be sensitive about this lion. And this thing is let's just take both ways. That's fine. That's fine.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How's it going today? Alhamdulillah. We continue with Surah Al-Fatihah bi'idhnillah ta'ala. You guys had enough to do those stuff today, you know? Yeah, let's just go straight to Surah Al-Fatihah bi'idhnillah ta'ala. We ended on, we finished the second verse. Yeah. So I think we're going to read it together and we'll go on. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So, yeah, this is Surah Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise and thanks belongs to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. So that is a translation that you know. In terms of tafsir, there is a lot more to it than that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues and he says, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. We know what those words mean, right? We discussed it in the Basmala. The same words. But what they mean in this context here? In the context you can see that do they form a full sentence? If it's a sentence, then it must have a mubtada and a khabar. If it's a jumla fi'aliyya, which it can't be because there's no fi'al there, there must be some other possible. So, is this a sentence? So what do you think it is? What hal? First of all, what hal is Ar-Rahman? You know how you must test yourself on your nahu. For any word, as you increase your ability to do so without better with Ta'ala, but for any word you must be able to ask yourself, what hal is the word in? Why is it in that hal? And what's the sign that's in that hal? So what hal? Why is it in that hal? And what is the what's the sign? So firstly, I ask the question here, what hal is this word? Ar-Rahmani. Al-Jar. Correct. Okay, why is it in that hal? Remember, you only have a couple of potential reasons that we've already learned. Yeah, that's good. That's us. Is that Moses right now for what? Allah. This is a sifa for Allah. Remember last week we had Rabbil Alameen. And I told you something about it. I told you that word. We can look at it as a sifa for the word Allah. Did I say sifa? I said sifa. Did I say something else or something? Yes, I did. I said we can look at it either as a sifa or as a badal. Remember? I saw you use my as an example when you refer to the entirety of a thing by a different name, we sometimes call it badal. Right? Just show me the nahu quickly. Just flip to the last page. Just want to see the last page in the nahu. Okay. In our old nahu book, we used to have something else over here. That I think is very important. I'm not going to give it to you. Basically a list of words, a list of reasons for a word to be in a had. Can you see? Can you see? No, that's just. Excuse me? Yeah, Arab. Oh, which page is this? The last page. In which book is it? In student workbook. Okay, let's not go into all this now. I don't think it's the. Inshallah, I'll ask you tomorrow. I don't think it's not there, and I'll tell him to get it. But basically, what I want to do is there's only a number of reasons that you know for words to be in specific hals. For example, you know if a word is a sifa, then it can be in any hal, but it must just accord with the word that is the mawsuf. Similarly, you know ismul majroor must be in halatul jar. You know that the mubtada must be in halatul raf. You know that the khabar must be in halatul raf. You know that the fa'il must be in halatul raf. You know that the maf'ul must be in halatul nasb. You know that mudafun ilayhi must be in halatul jar. Are there any other reasons that you know? I said this one has to do already. Those are the main ones that you know already, right? Those are the main concepts that you know. So basically what must be running through our minds is we must ask ourselves which of those things. If it's not one of those, I won't ask you to tell me because I don't expect you to know stuff you didn't know. So Ar-Rahmani, or we said Rabbil Alameen, we could count that as a sifa. I said another reading of it will count as a badal. It doesn't really matter. Let's just hold sifa for now because sifa is the one we know. Right? So let's say Rabbil Alameen is a sifa, but the word Rabbi doesn't stand on its own. Right? It's connected to the word. It's connected to the word. No. Yes, it's connected to the word Allah in that it's sifa. But what word is connected to it? Al-Alamina. Wow, what kind of construction do you tell me that is? And then we have the word Ar-Rahmani. Is the word Ar-Rahman connected to Rabbil Alameen? Out. Moved off to anything like that. It's another sifa. It's another sifa for Allah. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. خلينا الرحيم also حرف الجر وعايزين حرف الجر also وصفة it's also وصفة also وصفة what of Allah which Allah in Allah الحمد لله so how many sifat we have now if we counting Rabbi as a sifat we have 3 sifat so far we have 3 sifat so far Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahimi. So you're going to count on Sifa number 1, Sifa number 2, Sifa number 3. And then the next verse is what? Maliki Yawmiddini. Again, is this part of the sentence? What is it? Before we even know what it means, before we go to the meaning, what hal is Maliki? Al-Jar. Okay, why? It's another sifa. It's another sifa. Another sifa for what? For? For Allah. Okay, so it's a sifa. What does Malik mean? No. King means owner. Sept. King means owner. Malik means owner. Malik means owner. Okay. We're going to come back to that word, don't worry. Trying to break down the sentence. يومي is in which حال? جار. Why? We have one suggestion of مضاف إليه. Are we going to go there? We're going to go there? Any objections? No اختلاف. الحمد لله. That is مضاف. That is مضاف إليه. How do you identify Malik? Is it the right word? Malik. It's the right word, right? No, Allah. Tell me. And what it comes after it? Is in jar? Right, mudaf. Now tell me, ad-dini. Which hal is that? How to jar? Why? Also mudaf ilayh. Why? Is Yawmi a right word? Yawmi is a right word, right? And what they come after it at din? Hazul jar. So it fulfills my conditions, isn't it? Right. I shouldn't talk about something on the board. I don't think this is the first time we came across it, but what we have here is two idafi constructions connected to each other. So we have this word here is going to be a mudaf. Now if you know mudaf, a word being a mudaf doesn't give it a hal, is it right? The mudaf must be which hal? The mudaf can be any hal. The mudaf ilayh must be which hal? Yeah. But the mudaf can be any hal. So if it can be any hal, that means it's going to get its hal from somewhere else. So this is the mudaf, but also a sifa for for Allah. There's also a sifa for Allah. This is the one that gives it its hal. And that hal is jar. This word, I only recognize that this word is mudaf because it here has a mudafun ilayh. So this is going to be mudafun ilayh. For which word? It's going to be mudafun ilayh for Malik. And that's the reason that it has its hal as jar. But at the same time, this word is also mudaf. It's also mudaf to this word here, which is mudaf ilayh. And that's why it has its hal. So I just want to show you that. Look, here I have a mudaf ilayh relationship. And between the same word, it's doubling up here, and it's also in a mudaf ilayh relationship with that word. This one gets its hal from being the sifa. This one gets its hal from being the mudaf ilayh of that word. This one gets its hal from being the mudaf ilayh of that word. He's playing my phone. So yeah, okay. So any questions about the grammar related to that? Now tell me.
But if, like Maliki is sifa for Allah,
Yes.
so all that will obviously be in charge because of Allah. What I'm confused is how will Allah get that in charge because of Allah?
Because remember it's lillahi. Alhamdu lillahi. So the li is a harful jar, and that's why Allah is in harful jar. Okay. Oh, that's nahu. Inshallah we're going to see many more examples of this stuff. And for now also we focus a lot on the meaning. So what does it mean? Maliki. First time, when you have a mudaf and a mudaf ilayh, usually, and in a normal case, what do we understand between the mudaf and the mudaf ilayh? We understand the word of between the two, right? So, Maliki Yawmi, the master of the day of Ad-Din. Of Ad-Din, we'll see what it means. Right. Why did I translate Yawmi as the day? Because it's mudaf. But what do you know about mudaf? It's a light word, but it's actually different. So you can see that it's mudaf, right? So despite the fact that it doesn't have the al showing, the al is still implied, it's still different. Yeah. So the owner of the day of Ad-Din. You have to point out something. The word, this verse, you know in the Quran, there's a number of modes of recitation. There's a number of modes of recitation of the Quran. There's 10 canonical modes of recitation, and each of those 10 canonical modes of recitation is 2 different narrations. So basically that means from what we have extant today, like possible to read today, is 20 variant readings of the Quran. Right? 20 canonically transmitted variant readings of the Quran. Okay, there's a whole lot of technical knowledge there. I don't want to go into a whole discussion on it. All that I want to conclude is that the word, that this verse can be read either Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin. Either Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin. That's why maybe if you went to Yawmiddin. I don't know actually why they say that. If we went to Wales Street Mosque in town, we would have recite like that. But anyways, beside the point. However, you will find that the text of the Quran, the written text of the Quran, it accommodates for both readings. Just look in your Quran. I said it's Maliki Yawmiddin, but look how it's written. Is it written how I wrote it over here? Easy. Huh? And in your book? Okay. Well, then the one that you have isn't in conformity with the proper orthography of the Quran, the proper manner of writing of the Quran. Usually it will be written as is on the board here. Mim, Lam, Kaf. And then those who read it Malik Yawmiddin will put the diacritical mark, that line. You see that line over there? You see that line over there? That indicates that there's a short, very, very short mark there. Basically an alif sound. Now, when the Quran was initially recorded, in fact, all books, Arabic books in general, even Arabic books that we read today, they don't have any of these A, I, U, line and stuff like that. That's only there for non-Arabs. Arabs don't need it. In fact, even if you take the dots away, I think I showed you before, didn't I? Yeah. There was no dots even at all. So, those variant readings were all accommodated by the one text, and they were all taught by Rasulullah to the Sahaba. So it can be read either Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin. Now the word Malik and Malik, though very closely related to one another, they do have a slight difference. They do have a slight difference. So what's the difference? A Malik means a king. A Malik means a king, and a Malik means an owner. Right? So what's the difference in meaning there? They say كل ملك مالك وليس كل مالك ملك. Every king is a possessor, but every possessor is not necessarily a king. I have a car. I'm the owner of my car, but I don't necessarily say I'm the king of my car. Right? I don't have authority or subjects or anything like that. So, somebody that's the owner of things may not necessarily be a king, but every king will have possession. So, in fact, in terms of its meaning, the word Malik is more encompassing. The word Malik is more encompassing. However, don't worry, all of you recite Maliki Yawmiddin. For every half of the Quran that's recited, you get 10 rewards, isn't it? Rasul said, لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف لكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. For every half that you recite of the Quran, you get 10 rewards. I'm not saying Alif Lam Mim is one half. Alif is one half, Lam is one half, Mim is one half. So when you recite Malik, there's the extra half that you're reading. So you get 10 more rewards. Right? But when we understand it in terms of tafsir, then we understand all of its meaning. When we understand it in terms of tafsir, one is just how you read it. You can only read it one way at any given point in time. But how you understand it is that you understand all of the modes of reading it, and you incorporate it in understanding. So Allah is the king, and He is the owner of the day of Ad-Din. Firstly, the fact that the day is definite, that means that it's speaking about a specific day. Then the word Ad-Din. What does the word Ad-Din mean? We translate the word Ad-Din oftentimes as resurrection, judgment, a number of things. What other word do you know that looks very close to this? Okay, you know deen, religion. What else? Something? No, al-ladeen is completely simple. It's a dialect. When you're speaking about similar words, same root letters. Dain, what does that mean? Dain means a debt. Dain means a debt. Deen here referring to the day of Qiyamah, right? The name of the day of Qiyamah. Qiyamah means what? The day where people will be resurrected, right? But like I told you also, Deen, here the word Deen doesn't mean way of life. Like you know the Deen of Islam. Here it means like resurrection and recompense. Recompense. And that's why I showed you that it shares its root letters with the word dain. It's a day almost when debts will be paid. The day when debts will be paid. And there's something interesting about this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in another place of the Quran asks, Man ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا? Who is there that will lend Allah a goodly loan? Who is there that will lend Allah a goodly loan so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can multiply it for him and give him a generous reward? Do such deeds in this life for which they will only be paid, they will only be recompensed completely in the next life. You will get benefit of it in this life, yes, certainly. But the true recompense for the deed comes on the day of Ad-Din. On the day of Ad-Din, this day in which debts will be repaid. So, for example, whatever actions you did in life, on account of the consequences of your action. That's how what we understand from the word Ad-Din. Maliki Yawmuddin, not Din, way of life, but rather Din, the day in which debts will be repaid. Now here, I want to put in something. We mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned how many qualities of Himself? If we count Rabbi as one of them, four. Right? Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Malik. Right? Rabbi, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Rabbi has something connected to Rabbil Alameen, and Malik has something connected to it, Maliki Yawmiddin. Now, when do I give lots of descriptions of a thing? Okay, potentially to emphasize importance, but not when I'm trying to give more clarity about something, when I'm trying to introduce something to them, I mention as many qualities of the thing as I can, such that you can know it better. Right? Such that you can know it better. So here in this first part of Surah Al-Fatihah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us 4 descriptions of Himself. Right? 4 descriptions of Himself. We could even say there's, of those 4 descriptions, there's 2 that He repeats twice. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, if you count Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim as one of the verses of the surah. Right? So far in the surah, we've already had 6 descriptions of Allah. We've had 6 descriptions of Allah. 4 of them distinct. Right? 4 of them distinct. So clearly we can understand from this passage of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is introducing Himself to us. He's introducing Himself to the reader of the Quran. But He's not just introducing Himself to us. He's also introducing Himself to us. He's introducing our relationship as well. So let's look at it. Allah tells us about Himself. Firstly, how does Allah introduce Him to Himself? I am the one that's going to punish you. Is that the introduction? No. Lovingly merciful, the infinitely lovingly merciful, the eternally lovingly merciful, the one that, yes, is your master, and He is the divine, you are His creation, but He's the one that expresses that in nurturing you, in looking after you, in cherishing you, in causing you to grow. And not just you, every single thing, all of the possible worlds that one can think of. And if you forgot the lovingly merciful, the eternally merciful. And then Allah mentions the last of these 4. Allah mentions a quality of Himself that can be understood as a reward, or it can be understood as a as something to look forward to, or something not to look forward to, depending on your own action. But intrinsically, it's neither like negative or positive. What is that? Allah is a master of the day of recompense. Allah is the owner of the day of recompense. So in that piques one's interest to a number of things. Just imagine if you were Arab or didn't know any of these concepts before. You see, you grew up, for many of us, you grew up as Muslims, or you grew up with Muslims, or Muslims taught you what that means before you maybe came to read this verse. But if you're just thinking of it as a blank slate, you ask yourself the question, what is Yawmuddin? What is Yawmuddin? What is the day of recompense? I can understand it in terms of words, but what is it? And then whoever explains it to you will tell you that it is a day after you have been resurrected from death. After you spend your worldly life, because to die is worldly life, but then you'll be resurrected again. So at once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is causing you to affirm the fact that this life is not the be-all and end-all of everything. In the one verse, it's very concise. But in that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alluding to the fact that this life is not the be-all and the end-all of our existence, number 1. Number 2, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indicates that on that day basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's dominion and His ownership will be clear. Allah's ownership and His dominion will be clear. Is Allah the master and owner of everything? Yes, He is. Is Allah the master and owner of today? Yes. But Allah didn't say the king of everything. Allah could have just referred to himself as Al-Malik or Al-Malik, but Allah expressed the fact that He is the owner and king of something specific. Right? Of something specific. Because on that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kingship and His ownership will be apparent. In this life, it can be denied. Not from somebody who's truly thinking rationally, but somebody that's overcome by his passion and his desires. He may cover up the reality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the true owner and king of everything. I own all my possessions that I own. And I live with my possessions as if it has come to me on account of my own doings. And that I have no responsibility to anyone else. I have no responsibility to Allah in relation to it. It's just mine, and I can look down on other people on account of them not having, etc., etc., etc. I may delude myself into the lack of perception or being heedless of Allah's kingship and Allah's ownership of everything today. Right? But on that day, you will not be able to delude yourself or to maintain heedlessness from the reality that Allah is the true king and owner of everything. Yeah, I said not rationally, because if anybody thinks rationally, if anybody thinks rationally, and I mentioned this when I was speaking about the word rob, if anybody thinks rationally, then you'll think back to the fact that, well, everything must have had an origin. Everything must have had an origin, and everything that begins to exist must have a cause. The cause is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if everything is caused by Allah, Allah is the creator of every single thing, then He essentially has possession of it because it comes from Him. So why is it rationally? If you're thinking very rationally, then you will conclude that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the king and owner of everything. But it's possible in this life to cut ourselves off from that reality, like atheists do. Right? And like many people that are not atheists, they do not logically, but they do in practice. That's also possible. Like, for example, I can believe that Allah exists, but I can live as if I don't believe it. Isn't it so? I can attest to beliefs, I can say that kalima shahada, whatever, I can even make salah. But then I can treat the next person as if I'm superior to him on account of something that I own, not acknowledging my own deficiency and the fact that Allah gave me this. So that's a smaller, more on a smaller scale. That's also kind of denying the true ownership of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of everything. And so, though I logically, rationally, in terms of belief, to some extent, affirm the kingship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the ownership of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the same time, in practice, I can deny. So it can be rationally denied and in belief, and it can be practically denied. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces Himself here at the very beginning of this Quran as the Malik Yawmiddin, not the Malik of anything else. He is the Malik of everything else, but He doesn't introduce Himself as that because He wants to draw our attention to the fact that His mulk and His milkiyah, or the fact His kingship and His ownership will be evident on that day, will be undeniable on that day, right? More so than it is for many people here. Right? And so why I'm spending so much time on it is because, like I said from the very beginning, this surah is shaping our whole view of the world, our existence, life, stages of life. There's one surah that does all of them. It does all of them. So it's taking our focus away from the primacy of this life and putting it onto the next life. It takes our focus away from kingship here to kingship there. And it shows the superiority of ownership and kingship in the next life over this life. Because when I want to express, when I want to show status, then what do I do? For example, if I'm somebody, maybe I don't have a PhD, but say for example, I had 3 PhDs. Do I come and I introduce myself? You know, I have a bachelor's degree. I want to impress upon you some high level education. Do I come and I tell you, no, I have a bachelor's degree? Or do I come and tell you, I have 3 PhDs? Which one will give you more confidence in my knowledge? The PhD because you deem it to be superior. So here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning his sifat. He mentions kingship not in relation to that thing that is ephemeral, finite, going to end. But he mentions his kingship and ownership in relation to that thing that will last. Because it asserts and it magnifies our understanding of his kingship. Right? Magnifies our understanding of his kingship. So it impresses a greater meaning upon us. It adds purpose to our life. It shows us that this is not the be all and the end all of our life. And it shows us that in truth, though it may be denied for a period, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's kingship and ownership will become evident for none to deny. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'll give you a long time to finish. Yeah. Can somebody just see if is anybody working on that? Okay, so I'll tell them until he comes. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, there's a hadith in relation to the surah. I'm not going to carry on with the next verse yet. There's a hadith in relation to the surah. Why I'm not going to carry on is because you'll see here that the mode of address actually switches. The mode of address in the surah switches over here. Before, it was like Allah speaking to us about himself. But from here, what happens is, it's actually going to be that it's now us speaking to Allah. Allah is revealing the words, but it's going to be us speaking to Allah. So it's as if in this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us how to address him in light of whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned before. In light of all of those qualities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned before, Allah will be teaching us how to address him, and that further teaches us about our relationship with Allah. We saw something of Allah's relationship with us and the effects of Allah's relationship with us, that he is the Murabbi, he is the one that nurtures you, he is the one that cherishes you. But now what about our relationship with him? That's what Allah gives in the relationship, what we give in the relationship. So the next part of the surah will teach us that in that. Okay, I think that the time is not over. Yeah. So I think we'll stop there for now. Inshallah, we'll continue next week, the following week. Surah Al-Fatihah.